and dark in sin, that wicked women didn't want nothing to do with him and wicked men shunned him. He was the worst of the worst. He got away from his hometown hoping maybe he could get out of his sin, and got away from his hometown. He got deeper and deeper and deeper in sin. Prostitutes didn't want him. Drunkards didn't want him. I mean, he couldn't get a gang. He couldn't get nobody. I don't know how you feel tonight, but when I really realized I was lost, I didn't have nobody. I had to get to a place where I was lonely. I needed a friend. I needed some help. I needed to put some blood on it. And he got to that place where he was lonely and he didn't have nobody. And I heard his testimony, and he said, I got on the beam of a bridge one night in my late 40s. I didn't really have any church background. I was about to leap off about 60 foot down into a river. I was done with my life. That's exactly what the devil wants to do to you. And he said, right before I leaped off, I figured I'd just say something. He said, God, I really don't even know if you're real, but I'd like to say if you are real, you wouldn't want to save somebody like me. And he said, as soon as that last word came out of my lips, he said, Jesus came down out of glory. And he said, I want to save you. You're the very one I've been wanting to save. And he said, I got saved that night right on the beam of that river bridge. And I got down, started preaching the gospel. And a few years later, I made my way back to London, England. He said, I went to everybody I could find. Say, you remember me? You remember me? Yeah, I remember you. I remember you. I remember you being drunk. I remember you on drugs. I remember you with prostitutes. I remember you fighting and stealing. Right. I got saved and I'm preaching. And right here in the middle of London, I'll try to help get the money together if we could put a big sign up. And he gave his name. I can't remember it, but he said, on the sign, I want my name. Say, such and such. Born again, preaching the gospel at this and this auditorium. He said, I just want to hold 1 week of meeting. Right here, I'm finishing. If you want to come, you can. God bless you. Auditorium was packed out. No way that he got saved. No way that he got saved. It was packed out, and he said, right before I went out on the platform, a man ran up to me and nudged me and gave me a sheet of paper. It was folded up. I opened it up really quick and I read it. He said, I read, and the letter said, I can't believe you're back here making a mockery. I can't believe you're trying to act like you're saved and you're a preacher. I know all the dark, dirty things you did. I used to run around with you, and if you get up tonight claiming to be a preacher and try to preach, I'll get up and call you out for everything you've ever done. He said, I folded that letter up, put it in my pocket. And he said, I went out and mounted the pulpit. He said, I said, there's a man in the building tonight that used to know me. He said, if I get up and try to preach tonight, he's going to get up and tell every evil thing that I ever done. He said, I want to give him the floor right now. Just give him a few minutes to tell half of it, because that's all he knew. And he said, when he's done, I believe I'll tell the other half. And that way that you'll know that no matter how deep in sin you get, the blood of Jesus Christ can break you out of it and make you clean. As she sings right now, does anybody got a need? Anybody lost without God? You say, I've tried this and I've tried that, but I ain't never tried the blood. My grandpa used to say, put some mud on it. I remember I tried ibuprofen, tried Tylenol. I got burnt one day. I don't know why, but I listened to him that day. He said, go put some mud on that. And I went and I stuck my finger in the mud and it drawed that heat out. It's that simple. It's as simple as sticking your finger in the mud. Come up here and get under the blood fountain. See, it wasn't just anybody's blood, but the veins from Emmanuel had been slit open, and holy blood from heaven was falling on the ground. I told you when Moses threw the blood on them, it dried. That's because it got stabilized. It stopped. But the blood of Jesus Christ, it's still flowing tonight. It's fresh. You know why a river don't ever freeze? Because it's got to flow. And the reason men and women are still getting saved tonight, because the blood has got some flow to it. I'm going to ask you one more time. If you're here tonight and you're lost, if you're here tonight and you're not right with God, it's not for us to point you out and to throw stones at you, but it's for us to rejoice and say somebody got brought out of that deep, dark pit. Would you like to come tonight? Would you like to come? I want to leave you with this. You may have lived 5 years in sin or 50 years in sin. But I can guarantee you, no matter how bad it gets, if the day ever comes where you decide you want to put some blood on it, I believe it'll work.